Let's take a run through problem 710A. We're selling receivables here. Not an ideal circumstance. Generally speaking, people sell receivables when they are in a real cash crunch. We have a lot of accounts receivable. We don't have enough money to pay our own bills, so we sell those receivables to somebody else to get the money today rather than waiting 30, 60, 90 days to collect. Rather than chasing, we just get the money now, but we do it for a hefty fee. So let's read through it. Actually, one more thing. We're going to compare without recourse to with recourse. And the idea is if we sell it without recourse, it means if the factoring company, the company that buys our receivables, is unable to get the money, they can't come back at us. We don't owe them anything if they sort of are unable to collect some of those accounts receivable. With recourse means they do get the money. They can come back at us if some of the customers fail to pay. You may be saying to yourself, well, why would I ever, if you were the company buying the receivables, why would you ever buy without recourse? The answer is they do all kinds of credit checks, right? They are checking themselves, and they can charge higher fee if it's done without recourse versus with recourse, right? It'd be a lower fee for them typically. So there are plenty of reasons that this happens without recourse. Anyway, let's read through it. On July 1st, 2031, Lamda Logistics sells $400,000 of its accounts receivable to YKA Finance Group on a without recourse basis. So again, if those debts go bad, they are the ones taking the credit risk. In with recourse, we are the ones taking the credit risk. YKA Finance assesses a finance charge of 4%. 4% of $400,000 is $16,000. And so assesses a finance charge of 4% of the receivables sold. So they're going to charge us $16,000 to do this service, essentially for us to float us the money and to collect on our behalf. YKA Finance holds back 6% of the receivables sold to cover potential sales returns. So that's $24,000. They're not going to pay us right away. And the reason is it's still within the return period. Customers could bring stuff back, and it's not like a bad debt here. It's just a return, and that shouldn't be their problem. So they're saying, we're not going to give you all this money when, you know, some of this might not come back in due to a return. So $24,000 they're going to keep. So quick math here. We're selling them $400,000 worth of receivables. They're keeping $16,000 in finance charges. They're keeping $24,000 as like a holdback. We're going to get $360,000 cash today, 90% of the money. That's pretty good. And that's the reason we do it, right? We need the money now, essentially. So let's do the journal entries. So it says do the journal entry for Lamda. That's us, the seller. And we'll also do it for YKA, the buyer. So Lamda, we'll do Lamda over here. And in a minute, I'll sort of draw a line here, and we'll do the other guys, YKA on the other side. At first, this is without recourse. And part B, we'll do it with recourse. So Lamda gets $360,000 on July 1st, Canada Day. We debit cash for $360,000. We're giving up receivables. So we're going to credit AR of $400,000. The 2 points in the middle, the 24 and the 16, the $24,000, they owe it to us, and we're expecting to get that money. That $24,000 that they're holding back is in case there's returns, but if there aren't any returns, we're going to get that $24,000. We call that due from or receivable from YKA Finance. The reason we don't call it accounts receivable is accounts receivable is sort of reserved for like a normal business, like you make a sale and then the customer doesn't pay right away. That's accounts receivable, the trade accounts receivable, they call it. This is something different, right? And so it's due from, receivable from. It's a special account just for this circumstance, and it's $24,000. The other $16,000 debit, you know, my intuition on this is wrong. My intuition would be like, okay, finance expense, something like that. That is not correct. The debit here is to loss on sale. And if you think about what's happening here, we're selling $400,000 receivable, which is an asset. with a value of 400 grand, and we're only getting paid 384 grand, 360 today and 24,000 down the road, but we're getting paid 384,000 today for something we think is going to be worth $400,000. We think is worth, not going to be, is worth $400,000. So because of that, we're selling an asset for less than it's worth. This is a loss on sale. And, on the income statement, this is like an other expense. It goes in the other section or, not an operating expense. So there you go. We've done it from Lamda's perspective. Let's do it from YKA's perspective. So YKA, and again, this is without recourse. And you'll see they're just the other side of the same coin. They pay for this privilege of collecting our AR. They are going to give us $360,000 today. They get for their money $400,000 worth of accounts receivable. However, they owe us the 24 grand. And so they're going to call this, again, this is not a normal trade accounts receivable. They're going to call it due to us, Lamda. And that's a liability. They owe us 24. And that leaves us with the last 16. Now, this is not gain on sale because they didn't sell anything, right? This is not a gain on sale. Interestingly, Americans and the rest of the world have slightly different jargon here. We're talking about the same thing. Americans will call this interest rev. The rest of the world is going to call this finance rev. So pick your poison. We're talking about the same thing. It's not a big deal between the two. But if you're American, call this interest rev. If you're in the rest of the world, call this finance rev. But we're talking about the same thing. It's this finance company doing what it does to earn money. They are financing the receivables. I kind of see it the rest of the world way, but certainly the American position that this is interest revenue is not unreasonable either. They're floating us a loan and earning interest on that loan. I like finance rev better, if I'm being honest. Okay. Doesn't matter. Let's continue. Part 2. Assume the same information as above, except the sale is with recourse. So rather than without recourse, it's with recourse. And that means that if customers fail to pay, YKA can get the money from Lamda, us. Now, this is pretty normal, right? We sold $400,000 worth of receivables, even if we think they're all pretty good receivables. And I know if you have lots of customers that owe you lots of money, some of them aren't going to pay for one reason or another. And so we're saying we've estimated it here at $3,000. Let me read on. It says Lamda will guarantee payment if any of the accounts receivable become uncollectible. This recourse obligation has an estimated value of $3,000, and they would estimate that value just the same as you or I have done with our allowance for doubtful accounts or allowance for uncollectible credit sales. The way we've learned to do it this chapter. And they've said, okay, we think within this, based on track record, $3,000 aren't going to pay. So we're going to end up obligated to pay them back the $3,000 that they're going to be unable to collect. These are all estimates, but that's our best guess is $3,000 is going to be an obligation for us. So how do I deal with that? July 1st, 2031. They're still paying me the same amount of cash, $360. I'm still giving up the same amount of AR, $400,000, and that 6% holdback, that's still in place. So due from them is still $24,000. I have this new $3,000 obligation. That's a liability. I'm going to owe them $3,000. My best estimate for this liability is that I will owe them $3,000. Then let's call it a liability as a result of this transaction. We'll call it the recourse liability $3,000. Okay, so what is my loss on sale? It becomes a plug here. My loss on sale is going to be $19,000 to make this balance. $360 plus 24 plus 19 is $403, and we got $403 in credits. Why is it $3,000 more? And the answer is this deal is $3,000 worse for me because I'm going to have to pay them $3,000 in the future. So in terms of selling these assets, I'm $3,000 worse off from option part 1 to part 2 with recourse to without recourse. So This is with Recourse. Now let's do the YKA side with Recourse. See what that looks like. So YKA, they're going to credit cash, 360. You can see I'm behind my own head there. Debit our AR, they're getting our AR, $400,000. The due to, due from situation did not change. So due from us, due from Lamda 24. And here's the spot where I do get questions from students, and I think I'll be able to explain. What do we do with this, the recourse liability on the YKA side, on the green side of this? Well, it's a liability on one side. Shouldn't it be an asset on the other? And the answer is no. We don't do anything with this $3,000 on the green side. And here's why. Let's just pretend I debited, some sort of recourse asset account for $3,000. So I debit an account for $3,000. Well, think about what's happening here. They're collecting receivables. They will never, ever collect more than $400,000. Because if they get all $400,000, they're not going to get this $3,000 from me. If they get $397,000 because they think we think they're not going to get all $400,000, then they'll get the last $3,000 from me. Again, they're going to get $400,000. Best case, worst case, only case scenario, they're getting $400,000 worth of stuff in this deal, and we've debited the asset for $400,000. That's the future economic benefit they're going to enjoy from this transaction. They're not going to enjoy $403,000. They're never getting more than $400,000. So if I debit some other asset for $3,000, I'm going wrong. So we don't debit anything for $3,000. They don't have a side to this. They don't have a $3,000 on their side of the books, and therefore they enjoy interest/finance rev. So interest rev for you Americans, finance rev for the rest of the world of $16,000. And there we have it. We've solved 710A. As always, I hope the videos are helping. If they're helping you, I hope you'll help me with a thumb and or a sub. See you in the next video. Bye for now. The next video in our series is right up here. And if you want a supercut of all of the videos in this series, that's the one down below.